Did you call a cop, Colt, or a friend?
Colt looked down at the stub of his cigar, dropped it near the gutter, and crushed it with his boot.
It's handy, you being both. Did you kill that guy?
It was asked so matter-of-factly that Colt grinned again. He knew Boyd wouldn't have turned a hair if he'd confessed then and there.
Nope.
Boyd nodded again.
Going to fill me in? Yep. Why don't you wait in the car? I'll be with you in a minute. Captain Boyd Fletcher.
Colt shook his head and chuckled. Though it was after midnight, he was as alert as he was relaxed, a cup of bad coffee in his hand and his scruffy boots propped on Boyd's desk.
Ain't that just something? I thought you were raising horses and cattle in Wyoming.
I do. His voice was a drawl with the faintest whisper of a twang. Now and again I do.
What happened to the law degree?
Oh, it's around somewhere.
And the Air Force?
I still fly. Just don't wear a uniform anymore.
How long's it going to take for that pizza to get here? Just long enough for it to be cold and inedible.
Boyd leaned back in his chair. He was comfortable in his office. He was comfortable on the street. And as he had been 20 years ago in their prep school days, he was comfortable with Colt.
You didn't get a look at the shooter?
Hell, Fletch, I was lucky to make the car before I was diving for cover and chewing asphalt. Not that that's going to help much. Odds are it was stolen.
Lieutenant Grayson's tracking it. Now, why don't you tell me what you were doing with Wild Bill? He contacted me. I've been.
He broke off when Althea strolled in. She hadn't bothered to knock, and she was carrying a flat cardboard box. You two order pizza? She dropped the box onto Boyd's desk, held out a hand. $10, Fletcher.
Althea Grayson, Colt Nightshade. Colt's an old friend.
Boyd dug $10 out of his wallet. After folding the bill neatly and tucking it in a pocket of her purse, she set her beaded bag on a stack of files. Mr. Nightshade.
Ms. Grayson.
Lieutenant Grayson, she corrected. Popping up the lid on the box, she perused the contents, chose a slice. I believe you were at my crime scene.
Sure did look that way.
He lowered his legs so that he could lean forward and take a piece himself. He caught her scent over the aroma of cooling sausage pizza. It was a whole lot more tantalizing. Thanks, she murmured when Boyd passed her a napkin. I wondered what you were doing there, getting shot at with my snitch. Colt's eyes narrowed.
Your snitch.
That's right. Like his hair, his eyes couldn't seem to decide what color they should be, Althea thought. They were caught somewhere between blue and green. And at the moment they were as cold as the wind whipping at the window.
Bill told me he tried to reach his police contact off and on all day.
I was in the field. Colt's brow arched as he skimmed his gaze over the swirl of emerald silk.
Some field. Lieutenant Grayson spent all day putting the cap on a drug operation,
Boyd interjected.
Now, kids, why don't we start over and at the beginning?
Fine. Setting her half-eaten slice down, Althea wiped her fingers, then removed her wrap. Colt clenched his teeth to keep his tongue from falling out. Because she was turned away from him, Colt had the painful pleasure of gauging just how alluring a naked back could be when it was slim, straight, and framed in purple silk. After laying her coat over a file cabinet, Althea reclaimed her pizza and sat on the corner of Boyd's desk. She knew just what she did to a man, Colt realized. He could see that smug, faintly amused female knowledge in her eyes. Colt had always figured every woman knew her own arsenal down to the last eyelash, but it was tough on a man when the woman was as heavily armed as this. Wild Bill, Mr. Nightshade, Althea began. What were you doing with him?
Talking.
He knew his answer was obstinate, but at the moment he was trying to judge whether there was anything between the sexy lieutenant and his old friend. His old, married friend, Colt mused.